What are we doing here?
We're sending you back through the stones to your own time. Take this. When you go through, think about your wife. About Marjorie. Keep her in your mind's eye and touch that centre stone.
Who the bloody hell do you know my wife's name?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. You've got to tell me something. Please.
We win the war.
We win?
Aye. We lose a hell of a lot, but we win. Because of men like you.
You need to hurry. They're coming.
You need to go. Remember, think only of your wife. I love you.
All the way from Providence, Rhode Island, welcome to Outlander Cast. It's a podcast dedicated to the show Outlander on Stars.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I? Mary of soul, she sailed on a day over the sea to
Welcome. My name is Mary Larson.
You know, I just did it again. Nobody heard what you just said. So say it again.
Hello and welcome. My name is Mary Larson.
You know what it is? I get too much into the music,
Understandably.
and I don't turn it down when I'm supposed to.
We all get really into this music. Yeah, I appreciate
Man.
it.
Well,
So
anyway,
good. That's
again-
Graham McCreary for you.
further proof that this is done live every single time. And Mary, I am very happy to report that this was my favorite of the Outlander 7V episodes so far. Really liked it.
It was awesome.
Not saying it was the greatest thing of all time, but I am saying I enjoyed it more than I have the other episodes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think there was a little bit of everything. Little love, little romance, little drama,
Yep.
some time traveling magic. Plus, we get to see one of their pets. And when you get to see one of the pets,
Oh,
that just gives bonus points right away.
absolutely. So many good things.
All right. Well, we want to thank all of our friends at jointhenerdclan.com. Once again, that's our Patreon. You can find it simply by going to jointhenerdclan.com. You get early access to shows. You get actually shows without any of the advertisements. It's as little as $2 a month.
Yep.
And it truly keeps our lights on. We create these podcasts for free for people around the world. But if you can spare less than a cup of coffee to help this mom and pop podcast shop keep going, we would really, really appreciate it. And we want to thank all of our friends who are already members there. We wouldn't be able to do this without you.
All right, ready to get into the show, Marvin?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it. All right, go ahead.
Oh, so this is a little mini plot recap for you. This episode is called What's the Matter?
The camera was, again, a gremlin got into the studio and
Okay.
changed the cameras on me.
Okay. This episode is Hello, Goodbye. And it is a lot of the Roger and Bree storyline that we thought we were going to get after last week not having them. So we hang on out with Roger where he meets his Da. And we get Rob Cameron doing his Houdini thing, escaping. We find Jemmy. Jemmy has like the memory like his granny, and he remembers a lot of great things, which is awesome. And Ian and Rachel get married.
Oh, so cute.
It is so cute. And
Okay.
Jamie gets a new costume, a new uniform.
All right, so let's get to my camera. There we go. Okay, so the episode was entitled Hello, Goodbye.
Yeah, I just said that.
And I know, but I'm just reaffirming it. The writer was actually there was two writers in this episode. The first one was Madeline Brestel, and the other one was Evan McGahey. Now the funny thing about this pairing, Mary, is that Madeline Brestall this is her first credit ever. And she was Matt Roberts' personal assistant since season 5. And then this Evan McGahey, he has written a couple of like small time shows, only 2 episodes, and this is his first Outlander credit. So I find it awesome that this is my favorite episode of the season so far, and it's for someone, or it's written by somebody or people that haven't really had a whole ton of like real-time experience being writers. It's not to say that they aren't writers, that's how they got their jobs, right? But it's just that this is their first like legitimate credit. And I just love that. I think that's awesome. I love bringing in new talent. The director, you should know this name, especially if you are a fan of The Last Kingdom, because we have said this man's name before, Jan Mathis. Jan Mathis is the director. He directed 2 episodes, episodes 307 and 308 of The Last Kingdom, and he also directed 2 episodes of Vikings Valhalla, so he's like really into the whole Viking Uhtred thing. And he also directed an episode, or a few episodes of Shetland as well. So this is his first Outlander credit of his career, which is great, and a long, illustrious career for Jan Mathis. So, and you know, Mary, I can tell, I don't want to say I can tell, but I would say that the outdoor shots felt very Last Kingdom-y to me, if you know what I mean. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But so that is that. All right, your kilt rating. How many kilts are you giving this episode?
Giving this episode a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
All right, fair enough.
Big old 5.
I am giving this one, I'm breaking my streak of this season of 4.73s, and I'm giving it a 4.75.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed this episode. It does, I think, all the things that Outlander does very well. It's romancy. It's got pets, like you said. It's got
Time travel.
Great
music, great landscape.
Yeah, it's got like
character building moments.
Yeah, all of the things, and it looks beautiful too. And 4.75 for me. But the funny thing is too, it also does the things that Outlander struggles in. And we'll get to those in a little bit. But all right, you're GBG, you're good, you're bad, and you're great.
My good is everything Ian and Rachel, between their pre-wedding jitters and their wedding itself, so precious and perfect, and then their first night together. And Rachel, wow, well done.
Oh, girl.
Holy smokes.
Ain't ashamed.
No. She's just like, all right, I want to meet wee Ian.
Yep.
Like wee Ian. Ian's wee. Like she's just goes for it. And but truly all of their moments together were absolutely beautiful. So they're my good.
Yep.
My bad. Once again. Why is there no sense of urgency to find Lord John Grey? The only person who actually seems to care is Denzel.
Yep.
He comes on and he's like, I really need to go see Lord John. I need to see him. How's his eye? Oh, I'm so glad you're here. That means Claire's here and everything should be okay. And
Jamie's like,
Jamie's like, no.
I don't know where he is.
And Denzel's like, yeah, he's not well. He's actually like really beat up, which I know is from you. And he's about to be hung. No one cares.
Jamie's like, oh, well, we got a wedding.
No
so
one cares.
We got things to do. Yeah, we got.
And does Denzel tell other people, or does he just tell Jamie, and then Jamie tells Claire? Like, do other people know?
I feel like he probably goes to Jamie.
Because aren't we
thinking,
still in his house?
Yeah, I feel like we go there thinking, all right, well, I'm going to tell Jamie, and Jamie's going to be like, all right, let's go get him.
Jamie's going to do what Jamie would do for a freaking toad.
Right.
And go save them right away. This is James Fraser, who like, oh no, someone's hurt. Someone's in danger.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. Go.
The most Gryffindor of all Gryffindors.
No, but because he did it, and because he's still pissed, and he's waking up in the middle of the night, I can't sleep in this bed because I know what you did last summer. Like, what?
Somewhere, Jennifer Love Hewitt just perked up real quick.
And it just makes me upset because I really don't know how we're supposed to feel as show watchers right now about this situation.
Yep. And this is one of the things.
So that's my bad.
That's one of the things that I think that, as much as this episode does what Outlander does really well,
Yeah.
this is one of those things that
Jamie's gonna
Outlander
have some
does not do
explaining
well.
to do.
Yeah, he does.
All right.
And
That's
I
all
think
I can say.
Denzel takes Jamie's lead, being like, "Oh, I mean, yeah, that's a big deal, but let's not worry about it. We'll be okay. Let's just sit in silence for 20 minutes."
My great, however, is everything with Roger and his dad. I loved those scenes. I love this story.
Yeah.
For friends who have not read the short story yet of this part, because this
Sure.
isn't part of the regular books. This is part of like the novella series.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah, this is like one of Diana's short stories.
So this pot wasn't in
it's from okay, I'll change that. So there is this, but like
Yeah.
it's from
but it expands it.
it's from his dad's perspective.
Oh, cool.
Is the short story. Sorry. So if you're looking for something, and maybe you've already read the books and you haven't read the novellas, or maybe the books overwhelm you,
Mhm.
the short stories can be your jam.
Sure.
Okay, you'll feel super accomplished. If you're someone who gets intimidated by Diana's normal size books,
Sure.
you'll feel really good about these.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that because it's from his dad's perspective, it's really fun, and it kind of like fills in all these little gaps. Because
Oh,
we just
interesting.
see him in here,
Right.
but it gets to tell you what he's been doing, how he got here.
Oh, okay.
And fun fact, because I can say it now because this part's already done.
Mhm.
What did he say he was doing?
He said that he was on a mission
Yeah.
to take pictures over in Poland,
Yeah. So
which I imagine is probably Auschwitz.
so he was going to be taking pictures of like the camps and all this kind of stuff, and it was going to be really important. Frank is the one that sent him on that mission.
Really? Yeah. See, I told you I wanted Frank to come to my Christmas party.
I know. So I'm just saying, like, read that story. It's fun. I'm not like, this is over, so it's not like you're going to be seeing, I'm not like giving anything big, crazy away.
Yeah.
Because that part is
Oh,
in a
that is
separate short story.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
cool.
So it's pretty neat.
Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
And then even more complicated for Frank knowing.
Right, that
Mm-hmm.
he sent this kid's dad,
Mm-hmm.
and his dad never came back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man! You know what that is? Do you know what that is, Mary?
Yeah, I do.
Not great, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just once again, read the short story. You'll enjoy it. So that's my GBG. Blake, what's your GBG?
All right. So my what?
I just wanted to see this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So my good. You're gonna be surprised at this, Mary. As much as I hate Rob Cameron,
Yeah.
and I hate what he does to this story, and I hate that all of a sudden he just disappears at the end of the story. Like, I legitimately hate that. But I got to give the guy so much credit because he's the one who steals Bree's kid and is like, "Hey, if you don't tell me where the gold is, I'm gonna make sure your kid dies because he's alone." And imagine how bad that's got to be. That's got to suck. And then she ties him up into the priest's hole, and he has the balls. He has the Stugats to go ahead and call her an effing bitch. Dude, I love the fact that he has those biggest Stugats. As soon as he said that, I was like, dude.
This guy has 0 Fs.
Oh, 0 Fs.
Yeah.
And he's playing the victim in all this. Oh, man. I love that part. That was awesome. My bad. Aside from Rob Cameron leaving,
Bippity boppity boo.
I hate that so much. And as much as I loved the scenes with Roger and his dad, I wish that we just had more with Roger and his dad. Not like, oh, well, we need to, like spend episodes or whatever, but like just within the confines of this episode. I wish we had spent more time with them, just because I actually thought that Rick Rankin, as much as I hate that guy, I thought he did a really great job in this episode. and he really portrayed Roger very well as it relates to his dad. And he's like, oh, he's more myth for me than anything, really. Like, he's just like this hero. Like, and I thought Rick Rankin did a really superb job in portraying that. And I wanted more of that. I wanted more of the interplay between them. I wanted to see Roger squirm and try to maneuver around telling him, oh, you're my dad, or not tell him that you're my dad. And I just wish we had more of that. I would much rather have cut something, maybe sometime with Ian, or maybe the Lord John scene, or, whatever. Like, I wish we could have expanded on that just a little bit more. My great, though, is when Roger sends his dad through the stones, we get this moment of Roger expecting to have like this flood of memory. And he does have some sort of memory, but I don't know if it's a memory that he already has, or if he doesn't, if he didn't have it, is this the one thing that he does remember? Does his dad going back trigger this memory? Like, there's a whole litany of questions that come to me as I'm watching this. Like, oh wow, like Roger is really struggling, and he even says it too. Like, I expected all of this, and it just like it didn't happen, which to me suggests that Outlander is still sticking to the what Lost posited, right? And that is what happened, and there's no changing that.
We have to go back, Kate.
And what I mean by that is Roger always went back in time. Roger always went back in time again. Roger always saved his dad. It's just a question of when that happens within the timeline.
Yeah.
Right? The present moment for Roger when he saves his dad is in the past, and it always has been in the past. That's the way that it feels to me. I don't know, Marvin, what do you think?
Whatever happened, happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I would say that I really liked this episode.
Good.
Because it just does so much that Outlander does well. It did all of that. And I can't... And another thing that I like too, Mary, we just like sat in one place for a little bit of time. We weren't jumping from place to place to place like a lot. I mean, when we consider it against the other episodes. And this is why I think as a group, Mary, and we rate each episode against episodes of this particular show.
Yeah.
Right? So an episode of Severance, right, cannot be compared to Outlander because it's a completely different style. You can't rate a certain episode of Severance, let's say, to Outlander. It's just totally different. So within context, I think this episode accomplished a lot. So that's that.
Agreed.
So what do you think? What else stands out to you in this episode?
Let's start with the wedding.
Yeah, let's do
Denzel
it.
makes it in time.
Yep.
They're setting up all these chairs, and Ian has a beautiful conversation with Jamie. Of course, Jamie's, his acting father, and he's saying, I'm so glad, A, that you're alive, and B, that you're able to be here at my wedding. And he talks about his dad and how, would my dad be okay with this? And Jamie's like, yeah, he's the one that told you to come back here, you silly goose. Their wedding, this Quaker wedding, was so delightful.
It was great.
And so uncomfortable. And I loved Jamie and Claire just sitting there awkwardly and seeing the time pass, seeing Rollo fall asleep.
Yeah.
That poor old puppy. And Claire leans over and is like, how do we know? What if the spirit doesn't move anybody? And Jamie's like, then we're going to be here a really long time. At which Denzel says, oh, Jamie, The spirit seems to have moved you.
There's no need to whisper.
No need, my friend. Stand up and share.
That is totally something that would happen to you.
Yes.
100%.
And I have gone to Quaker meetings, friends meetings, a few times. It's kind of my jam.
I was going to say, I just get to sit and be quiet and do nothing.
Yeah, it's my jam.
I'm in. Let's go.
I think you would hate it, Blake.
Would I?
You would hate this.
Why?
You'd be... So you're supposed to be there, and you're kind of like meditating, and you're just being one, because the idea is that we all have a light within us.
I don't hear anything
and
I
that
don't like
we
in it
all
so far.
have a connection with the spirit ourselves.
Sure.
But you're in a room with other people who make like sounds.
That's one check mark in the con
and
section.
you sit kind of close to people.
That's a big check mark in
and
the con
you sit,
section.
like the meeting house that I've gone to, you sit in like squares, so you're facing people.
That's another huge check mark.
And then, so like what happened in the show is kind of it. Like when you feel compelled by the spirit, you stand up and you speak what's on your mind. And it might be like a quote from poetry. It might be just something that you're feeling. But then when you're done, you sit down and no one like claps. No one discusses it. No one like, anything like that.
Sure.
You just stand up and you say what you're feeling, anything, and then you sit down. But like people don't even look at you sometimes because
that's a pro.
But it feels really weird because we're used to in society like acknowledging when someone speaks or wanting to discuss that, and you don't. And there's no music, there's no musicians, there's no priests, there's no like thing that you're looking at.
All
You're
pros.
literally just all there.
Pro.
In silence, and you might not like the people who are moved by the spirit.
Smelling each other's farts.
And what they have to say. And what's crazy is that it starts like you just go in the room and it starts. There's no like, okay, it's time everybody stop talking. Like it just starts. And then it's over when someone stands up. So there's like a general time that should be over and like someone kind of knows like, okay, we should be wrapping up at 10 o'clock or whatever. But like you need to be compelled by the spirit to stop and stand up.
So they're all sitting
There's
there
no like bell
for like an hour.
Yeah.
They're 59 minutes in. They're like, hey, ain't nobody compelled by the spirit yet. Let's
Yeah.
hurry it up.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd like it. You might.
Listen, if I get to sit in silence and just...
I think that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Because I'm always around people, and whenever I go to church services, I'm like too busy nitpicking or trying to think about their music choices or something. And
Sure.
so I get very distracted. So I actually love Quaker services. So watching this, I've never been to a Quaker wedding, and I didn't know how it would go. Like, do you just marry yourself? That's how it seems in Outlander.
It definitely feels like that.
So I dig it.
You know what I would do if I was in like a Quaker meeting? I would do what Dumbledore does.
Okay.
And just be like, just say nonsense. Like, so I just wanted to say...
But that's not respectful. That's not the
but
point.
the spirit compelled me.
No, you're
Fezziwig,
what compels
tiddlywinks.
Like, that's just you being a jerk, mocking it.
Listen, I said that's what I would do.
This is why you haven't come with me to any friends meetings. Oh my gosh. I'm just saying I loved it. I thought it was really neat.
Yes.
And I even loved the awkwardness when Denzel is like, hey, this is all my fault.
Sure.
You know, you're not able to do this in the regular meeting, and I'm sorry, and I led you astray, and I don't know. I just thought it was a really tender moment.
Yeah, and I really liked sitting there. I liked seeing the time lapse. I liked the funny interchange between Claire and Jamie that felt real. It felt true to each of the characters. It also explains a little bit for you, for someone like me, really, who doesn't know what these Quaker meetings are about or what they do. You know, there's an opportunity between Claire and Jamie to exposit here and say, this is what's supposed to happen. I really like that as well. That's well written. It gives you a chance to see it, observe it, and learn from it, and engage with it at the same time. And once you get that bit of information, now you get a chance to see that time lapse and what that looks like for Jamie and Claire. And then recognizing finally that what's his name? Denzel says what he says. And really, it's not his fault. It's not.
No.
And I'm so happy for Ian and Rachel. I'm just glad we had a chance to just sit and just wait and allow these characters to just do what they want to do for a little bit, because we've just been so moving on the go. There hasn't been any time to just be a character. You know what I mean?
I do.
So I really liked it. I liked it too.
I just wish someone was on the go trying to find Lord John. The heck? You think about everything he's done for this friggin' family? I'm mad.
What do you mean?
How much he's helped out.
Oh, sure.
The Frasers. The Claire, Bree. Oh my God, he was married Bree, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Marries Claire. He really looks out for these people.
Yep.
Gets them all the best presents.
Oh, I forgot the thing with Bree.
Yes.
I forgot
He
about
has done
that.
so much for this family. And they're sitting there now where it is.
You know, we said it on last episode. Yolanda, one of our listeners, called Jamie and Claire trash for how
I'm
they've
not calling them trash.
Well, hold
I'm
on, let me just finish my
mad.
point. She called him trash for how they've treated Lord John. I think I'm one step closer to going over that line, to being like, yeah, I kind of agree with her. Just because when you start talking about all the things that he has done for them, damn,
Yeah.
how there's no urgency whatsoever to figure it out. Oh, that's bad news. That's bad news.
I'm not happy right now about it. Ian and Rachel's wedding night.
It's just pooper.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Yeah, dude, did not expect that feistiness from her.
No, same.
Not at all.
Calling his little wee Ian velvet.
Oh,
Hey,
hey now.
Hey.
Biting some nipples.
I mean, yeah, it
Hey,
was a lot.
listen,
I'm really proud of her.
Yep.
Really proud of Ian. I think they did a beautiful job. I just was shocked because I kind of thought she was going to be a bit more innocent. Not that she's done it before,
Mhm.
but on the flip side, I feel like,
When you pent up that long,
no, I just feel like maybe Rachel did a little bit more research over time. You
maybe
know?
she had a few conversations.
Yeah, she hasn't lived a normal Quaker life. Let's be real.
Sure.
She's not the sheltered girl that everyone thinks that she is. I mean, she is to some degree, but
Yeah.
she's also lived a very different life. So, I don't know. She's ready for adventure
She is.
inside and outside of the bedroom. And I'm proud of her for that.
I wouldn't be surprised if she perhaps has procured a copy of the Kama Sutra. I'm just going to throw that out
I
there.
wouldn't be surprised either.
She's just been looking at it now for the past number of weeks, trying to prepare for the night, and she figured some stuff out. Good for her.
Good for her.
Good for her. And again, I'm gonna say, usually I'm the kind of person that fast forwards. I through. That is a listener feedback pull. So if you don't understand what that reference is, go back and listen to the last episode. Usually I through these sex scenes because it doesn't do anything for me. I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really feel the need to in this time. I really felt like what they were doing and how they were with each other, it really told me a lot more about their
Agreed.
character. It was there for a purpose, not just, oh yeah, we're doing it on a slippery table.
Jamie has a little pouty time in bed. He's up late, can't sleep. Claire's like, "What's going wrong?" And he's like, "I don't know. I guess I'm kind of worried about John, but really what I'm mad about is that you slept in this bed." That was it. He was like, "Oh, I can't complain right away, so I'll pretend I'm upset about Lord John, but really I'm just mad."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Are you freaking kidding me?
What are we doing, dude?
Oh my God.
It's a little whiny. I'm not gonna lie.
Mary McNabb, Leary, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on."
Listen, as a man, I kind of get it. Because if I was in that bed and I'm like, oh, that happened in this bed, I feel weird about that. But on the other hand, I would also have the wherewithal to be like,
Keep that to yourself.
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna
Stop pouting.
I'm gonna work through this myself. I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God. He did it to save. Well, he didn't do that to save your wife, but like honestly, yes, because she tells him like he pulled me out of my depths.
Right.
Oh my God, Jamie.
Just calm down.
At least he gets a nice new uniform. Very nice.
Oh, looking spiffy.
Yes.
Woo, that blue and gold looks good. And I love how she's like, well, at least you're wearing the right color this time.
That was cute.
That was cute. Good stuff there.
And she tells him, I'm going to follow you anywhere, everywhere. I'm still here for this revolution. So don't you worry, soldier.
Guess it's a good thing that she didn't go back through time.
Yeah.
Guess it's good and convenient that she decided, I'm going to stick here to make sure the revolution happens.
Okay. Let's go. Speaking about back in time. So we talked about Roger and his dad.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliantly done. How he carefully tells his dad, "Listen, I'm from the future as well. This is how I know who you are. Here's the scoop. We're here to help you," without saying I'm your son.
Sure.
Because you know that's like within him, like, oh my God, I just want to tell him everything, and this is gonna be amazing. But he knows he needs to get his dad to safety, and those freaking dogs. I was actually pretty nervous hearing those dogs because I would not be able to outrun one.
You definitely would not.
No, I know.
No chance.
So here they are, and it's like those dogs are sent from the little kid's family. The little kid that Buck was like, I'm going to break your neck.
Just lifts him up.
Don't do that.
Like Darth Vader.
Don't mess with a Scottish kid.
Nope.
My dad had, I'm forgetting the big word, the big like club stick thing. Oh, what is that thing called?
Shinty.
No, because that's the sport.
Yeah.
But like my dad had one of those, and I remember one time I came home. My dad's heritage is Scottish, and I came home because someone was following me when I was on my bike in the neighborhood. They were driving and they kept following me, and so I came home and I was like, Dad, I'm so scared. And my dad grabbed his big weird Scottish stick thing and ran out into the neighborhood.
Really?
Started to look for them.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Interesting.
And so when I saw this kid and I saw what Buck did, I was like, oh, he doesn't remember how these people are. You mess with their kid,
Yeah. They're
watch
gonna come.
out.
They're gonna come
with their
right after you.
with their weapons and their dogs.
So I really wish that we had some more time. Like, I get the whole thing of them not wanting to stick around for these angry parents or whoever they were.
Yeah, they're gonna come kill you.
Yeah, they're gonna come kill you. Like, I get it. Like, there's a legitimate need to get out of the situation, and they can't just run away because he fell and obviously hurt his leg, right? So I get it. Get to the stones, get him out of here, see what happens. But I really do think that they missed an opportunity to explore that maneuvering that Roger has to do around his dad and fight that urge to be
Here
like,
it is. It's called like a shililach.
okay, sure.
Shililach. It is. Oh, I'm not even saying it right, but it's an old Gaelic word meaning oak club,
Oh, cool.
and it was often depicted with leprechauns. They appear to be nothing more than walking sticks,
Ah, okay.
but they are a fighting stick.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I said this last episode. I don't recall, but there's this great video of Michael Caine saying, "Listen, great actors act, but like if there's a crying scene, a great actor doesn't go all out and start blubbering on. A great actor holds it all back in and tries to not cry." And that's all I could think of during this scene with Roger and his dad. And maybe that's why this scene hit so hard for me, because I really felt like Rick Rankin could have went an entirely different direction with it. And instead of doing that, I could see him holding it in. I could see him holding in like the urge to hug his dad.
Yeah.
I could see him holding the urge to like ask him a bunch of questions. And to top that off, again, I'll say it, the outdoor scenes, particularly with Roger and his dad,
Oh, yes.
were beautifully shot, and it did feel very Last Kingdom-y. And it felt a little bit more raw, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Perhaps it was, when they shot it, it was the golden hour. But it just felt like the coloring, the blocking, the pace, and even the camera movements themselves. If you're not a fan of The Last Kingdom, you don't get it. But if you are, then you do get it. It just has a feel to it. And which every great show should have a feel to it. Breaking Bad has its own feel. Lost has its own feel. Game of Thrones has its own feel. There's just certain things, without getting all nerdy about it, that just strike that chord. And that's how this felt. Now knowing, Mary, that I told you that this guy from The Last Kingdom directed this episode, do you feel like you saw a difference? Or if you didn't, that's okay.
No, I don't really pay attention that way.
By the way, if you are a Last Kingdom fan and you haven't listened to Mary and I's Last Kingdom podcast, please do. MaryandBlake.com. Check it out. Last Kingdom with Mary and Blake. And if you have not watched it, you're missing out, dude. You're missing out. Last Kingdom was great. It was I love that show. I wear Mjolnir now around my neck because of that show. Oh, so good. So good. Just going to leave it there.
Okay, so we leave Roger and Buck. Let's go to Bree. Bree locks Rob Cameron up in the priest's hole.
Ooh, I
Locks
expected
him
more.
up.
I expected more out of her.
I know you did.
I saw her choke him a little bit. She says, "I'm going to effing kill you." And like, that was a hard F-bomb.
Yeah. And then she locks him up. Jemmy. Mandy, how did you not wake up earlier? She grabs her. She tries to use the phone. Rob cut the phone lines.
Oof.
What are you? From Scream?
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Oh.
Do you like any
And
scary
then
movies?
she grabs Mandy and she's like, we're going to go get the cops. And Mandy's like, Jemmy. Hot and cold game.
Yeah, how do you feel about the hot and
pursues.
cold game?
Love it. Love it. Love it. This is
kinda
a
out.
mom. I know you're out because you're not like, you weren't really with our kids that much when they were young.
No, but it's not that.
You have to make everything a game. You
Creepy
can't
weird
show
kid.
your stress. No, trust me. Like I would make little songs about like putting on your shoes. You have to make things a game if they're getting a shot. You have to make everything a game.
Sure.
Especially when they're that young. So to me, that rang true of like, oh, she knows her kids.
Sure.
She's been doing this a while. She knows, oh, you feel them? Where? Tell me. No, you have to put it into terms that this young of a child can do.
Yep.
Jemmy, however, holy smokes. He so sweet. He's down below, all in the dark. On your feet, soldier, like Granny would say.
Yeah.
He gets up, gets his little bravery, gets his little flashlight helmet on, and then remembers how his mom detailed getting out.
In vivid detail, by the way.
Like full detail, remembering left versus right.
All right.
Which, you know what? He's Claire's descendant, and Claire has that kind of memory. And Bree has that kind of memory. So I'm okay with it. But I will tell you this. If either Blake or I or our children were in Jemmy's position, we would still be down there
definitely.
crying.
40 years
Not
later.
even knowing how to turn on the breakers. Okay?
All right, what do we do? Do we take a left? Do we pull a Yui? Do we bang a Yui here?
He remembers everything. My God. And then he gets to the time portal. And all the
Oh,
buzzing,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he hears his dad calling his name.
I was 100% certain that kid was going back in time. Right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was going to say something and Roger was going to hear him too.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as Roger heard him, it would like do this like circle shot around the stones.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that he left his dad. And it's going to come back around.
Ooh.
And it was going to be Jemmy.
Very cool.
I thought that's what was going to happen.
Very cool.
It didn't happen, of course.
Instead, he becomes creepy kid like Children of the Corn.
Oh, just standing in the
Just
middle of a
standing in the
freaking road.
His mom almost hits him.
Oh,
So we don't see him find his way out. But yeah, he's just in the road.
yeah.
And she comes back with the cops. Puts the kids in the trailer. I got really nervous with the kids being in the trailer.
I thought so too, because I knew that Rob was not going to be in the priest. Like, I knew it. Like, it was obvious. But when you said, oh, he might be in the trailer.
No, yeah, it was like, well, are you just going to leave your kids in the trailer while you go inside with the cops?
Right.
Now, granted, they hadn't dealt with them,
Yeah,
but
but that
like,
don't mean
you're
nothing.
missing Rob.
You think Rob Cameron's going to
I
balk
would not
at
have
the opportunity?
done that. I would not have put my kids out of my sight. personally.
Yeah, but then how would you? Or would you just wait for like? Well, what you know what I would do?
I would have put them on the couch and had a TV on so that it could kind of drown me out and talk with the cops.
No, you know what I would have done?
What?
I would have kept myself in the car with the kids and an officer with me while the cops go in my house.
Yeah, you go sweep it. This is your job.
Yeah, go figure that out. You don't need me here. I told you exactly where it was.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Do your job.
So they go in. Priest hole's empty.
Yeah. But the door was like
The door was locked.
I hate.
What's wrong, Blake?
I just don't like that
Rob
Rob
Cameron?
Cameron is gone.
How'd he get out?
He
How'd he get out, Blake?
obviously has somebody working with him, and it's probably somebody that we know, and it's probably someone that like we don't think would be part of it, but is, and it.
I don't.
It's probably some rando that we saw in season 7, like in 7A, that we weren't paying attention with. Like, who was the nice guy that was cool with Bree? Like, it's probably him. Like, that's working with Rob. Like, I don't know. I don't like the fact that Rob is. I think that's a.
You know what I really didn't like?
I
was
feel
the
like
cops.
I just feel like it's cheap writing. I think it's cheap writing.
I think the cops were jerks.
Cops were way jerks, especially because they were so, and I hate saying this, misogynistic.
Yes, they were.
Absolutely.
Also, you have to think about the time that it took place. That's exactly as they're saying, oh, your husband was away on vacation, and I see that there's wine out. Like, how are we to know that you guys didn't have, like, a fun night? In the book, he tries to have Bree be physical with him.
The
as
cop?
part of, no,
Oh.
Rob. Like, when
Oh.
Rob comes in after,
Yeah.
in the show she slammed her fist. When he comes in, he tries to tell her, like, oh, and you're also gonna... you know. Yes!
Oh, I'm glad
So
they
I'm
cut
glad
that
they
out.
cut that out. But like the cops are implying that you guys were having a little rendezvous.
here's the question. Given the scenario that they're coming into without any other knowledge, are they wrong?
Yes.
Like, you go into this room, a woman that's married says her husband's out of town. This guy just showed up out of nowhere, took her kids, but you see wine on the table. She's frazzled. Like, I'm not saying that
The way
that they're
that they
right.
did it was wrong. The way they did it was wrong. I think that it's totally okay to ask questions
Sure.
for clarification, but the way they did it was super wrong. And I'm so proud of Bree for standing up for herself. We did see and learned that the reason that Bree has bandaged fingers is actually because Sophie Skelton hurt herself.
Oh, yeah?
And they had to add that into her character.
Oh, that's
because
great.
she had to have her fingers in a sling. So that's why they added that whole bit, is because she actually was injured.
Oh, that's great.
Kind of like how in Bridgerton, how Eloise had to have muffs over her hands because she
Yes.
had her hand in a cast the whole time.
Oh, that's
I
great.
love when they have to do that. So, however, Jem's back, and she brings the kids to Fiona.
Oh, great callback. Love seeing Fiona. I saw her and I was like, that's good. That's a good Outlander season 1 pull right there. Great job.
So Fiona knows,
Yeah. And she gets it.
but her hubby doesn't.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah, my husband totally thinks that
He's in Boston.
yeah,
or
he's
whatever.
in Boston. It's fine. I love secrets. And Bree also gives her the chest of letters.
Yes.
And so she says, okay, have my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take my gun, and I'm going to go back home
Oh, man.
with the locksmith.
There's just no way. If I am Bree, I can't go home. Can't go home. Can't do it. How could you? The guy's out. Like, if he was still locked in there, okay, I could figure it out. We'll do some Jack Bauer stuff. But he's gone. You don't even know if he was still inside the house.
Okay, so I was 23, 24, and I had someone break into my apartment. and it was a one-door apartment, like one door in, same door out.
Mhm.
And I saw that someone was in. They had crowbarred it in, and I went all Jamie Fraser, and I kicked the door, and I went, "Who the f's in here?" And luckily, I was on the phone with my mom at that time, and she's like, "Mary, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Someone's in my apartment. Who's in here?" What do you mean, Mary? And I'm like, someone used a crowbar to get in my apartment, and they're here.
Now I gotta say it right. Someone used a crowbar to get in my apartment, and they're still here.
And thank God I was on the phone with my mom, because my mom was like, Mary, get out of your apartment.
You could be dead.
Someone's in your apartment with a crowbar.
DED
Like,
dead.
what are you doing? So then I turned around, ran across the street, called the cops. Cops came in. Sure enough, the person has like footprints in my apartment leading to my bathroom. So they like hid inside my bathroom while I was screaming like a banshee. Who the fuck's in here? So cops leave. I don't have a working door. I have a propped up door.
Oh, like because the crowbar.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I had to just put my couch
In front of the door.
against the door
Yeah.
overnight
Oh, that's crazy.
and be in my apartment like that,
Nope.
not knowing who this person was. I think I do know who it was. But once again, that person was still out there.
Sure.
So could have just been a random thief, could have been someone that I knew. And I had to wait till the next day for the person to come and fix my door.
Oh, nope. I'd be like,
so
Mom,
cops
come to stay
don't
at your house.
stay with you. Like they don't.
No, and neither should
No.
nor should they.
But like that sucks.
Yeah.
And that's your home, and your belongings are still in there.
Yeah, but belongings are it ain't worth your life. It ain't worth the trauma of getting
I don't know when
hit
you're
up again.
When you're like fiery and brave, like me and Bree,
Oh, nope.
you say I can do this.
See you
I
later.
can stick a couch in front of this broken door, and I can live.
This is why I am such a Slytherin and you are such a Gryffindor.
Thinking about it now,
Yeah, you are
why didn't
on freaking Planet Zippy.
my mom after this say, please don't stay there?
Yeah, come stay with me,
Oh,
Mom.
You live 20 minutes away.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't have weapons.
What are we
I
doing?
have like a cheese grater and a saxophone.
Yeah, give me your face.
Yeah.
Cheese grate your face.
But I say this because your adrenaline rush, and when it's your home, and like no one is there to protect you.
Sure.
So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Anything else you want to talk about in this episode, my love? And it's here's the thing, Mary. Not a whole ton I mean, there is a fair amount that happened in this episode, but in comparison to other episodes, not a whole ton happens.
Agreed.
And that's a good thing.
It was a good. It was a well-paced episode.
Yes.
It was normal pace.
It was normal pace. It wasn't slow.
digestible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, these are a few things. We're going to
Moments
stick
of
with
tension,
them.
moments of levity, far
Yep.
apart from each other, so you could actually enjoy each emotion.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And that's exactly why, despite the fact that I hate Rob Cameron was gone, and despite the fact that I didn't like that Roger and his dad spent more time together, like in the hot cold game, I enjoyed this episode because you got a chance to just breathe
Yeah.
a little and just enjoy what you're seeing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Although we do have that one scene with Lord John when he runs into some people
I almost forgot.
and he lies about his name.
Yes.
And he picks the most ridiculous name ever.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah.
His name is my name too. Whenever we go out, the people always shout, "There goes John Jango Jingleheimer Schmidt." Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
So John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt is gonna end up going to a revolutionary camp.
So pumped. I love when they were like, "Oh, cool. We'll take you."
Yeah. And they were just like, yeah, sure.
Spy schmy.
They were like Frankie Pentangeli in The Godfather. Yeah, sure. No problem.
Loved it.
You know.
I don't know why he didn't just drop Jamie's name. Like, oh yeah, I'm wicked good friends with Jamie Fraser. So like,
Yeah, the new Brigadier General.
well, he doesn't know that he's
No,
a
I know.
brigadier general, but like
I know.
he's still high up there.
Yeah.
He could be like, oh yeah, I'm joining his team.
You know, by the way, Mary, that Jamie is going to end up in the same exact place as
Oh, he better.
Lord John.
He better friggin' find his way over there.
Totally going to happen.
Because
And then we're
nobody
going to have
is
a
caring.
confrontation
Is
then.
anyone else caring? I love how Lord John's nephew was like, hey, Denzel. Like, does Denzel tell him?
Oh,
So I'm
man.
saying the show's
doubt
making
it.
me feel very complicated about this Lord John Grey situation on multiple levels.
Yep. Oh, by the way,
Still no one has said we were married. Or does
Right.
do they say it in this episode? No, I don't.
well, no, oh, no, they don't say it in this episode.
Jamie and Claire, I'm saying.
No, Jamie and Claire don't say it.
Yeah, like
No.
it's just weird.
It's just still one of those things that
Like
just
we
not
know it's
talked about.
said.
Yeah. I also want to say there is 0.0 chance that Buck comes out of this alive. Every time that guy goes near the stones,
Clutching his
he's
heart.
clutching his heart.
Oh my god! In this episode, he was like, "Huh," and I didn't know if it was from carrying
Yeah.
Jeremiah or if it was
Either
being in the
way.
stones.
Either way, this guy ain't long for the world.
Oh my god! As someone who's had art issues myself,
Oh, man. He looked like he belongs on the... He looks like he belongs with those commercials. Help! I've fallen,
Yeah.
and I can't get up.
yes, yes, he needs.
What's that called? Medi Alert or
I
something?
forget what it is.
That's the stupid necklace
It's
that
not-
you gotta wear.
No, it's not stupid. It's a life saving.
You know what I mean?
I do know.
He
Blake.
he's like the... Not only is he a member, he's the president. Oh,
How many episodes do you think Buck lives
that's
for?
a random pull from the early 90s.
How many episodes do you think Buck's gonna live?
Buck's done by the penultimate episode.
Okay,
He's croaked.
interesting.
He's croaked. And
Do you have
and
any other outlandish theories?
it's not a coincidence that they show him clutching his chest. And I also will say this too. I love how every time they go back to the stones in some sort of fashion, we, the audience, hear the buzzing. That is something that I wish that they had done in season 1 and taken that DNA, that language, and just kept it throughout the whole show. Because it didn't happen in season 1. It didn't happen in season 2. But suddenly it just started happening. And I love that, like, that's part of the experience for us now. Which
I
makes
liked
it
how the
interesting.
voice calling through it reminded me of when Frank was looking for Claire,
Yes.
and they were yelling the names, and they could kind of
Yep.
hear each other. I thought that was cool.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No,
All right. I will say this, Mary. My final take for this episode. They missed a perfect opportunity for this.
You say yes, I say no. You say stop,
They should have figured it out.
I say go, go, go. Oh no. You say goodbye, and I say hello.
How do you not have this song playing like on the radio when they're
Trademarks.
driving? They figure it out. Figure it out. They got Never My Love. They got Bob Dylan.
yeah,
Figure it out. You're professionals. How do you name this episode
maybe
Hello
be
Goodbye?
Too cheesy. Maybe be too cheesy.
No. It's perfect. It's perfect. You absolutely have this song playing like on the radio in the car. There's no way you can't.
You'd
Ugh.
have to be listening to an oldies station.
Th-
and,
Who says that cops don't?
I don't know.
The cops listen to oldies. Why not?
My name is Mary,
My name is Blake.
and you've been listening to Outlander Cast. Sláinte.